Hey guys, welcome back to our Permagard headquarters in Miami, Florida. I'm Joe Stewart. Today we're going to be going through a Permagard initial application on this 3-year-old BMW 430i. It's going to be a two-step process, so we're going to be doing a Permagard pretreatment and a Permagard application of the reactive polymer. And I'm going to start with the hood here, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now that we've thoroughly dried the vehicle after washing it with the Permagard shampoo, I'm going to move on to protecting the plastics. Okay, so I'm taping up these plastics, as you don't want the product to get on to these plastics. As the product stays on, it can cause discoloration, so you always want to tape up your plastics. The same with your windshield wipers as well. You don't want any product getting on that. So I'm gonna tape these up. All right, so it's important to protect all rubber seals and non-painted plastics, just like I've done here. And now we're gonna move on to the Permagard pretreatment application. For the application of the Permagard pretreatment and the Permagard reactive polymer, you have to use an orbital polisher. And today I'm going to be using the Rupes Bigfoot. Okay guys, so I'm going to be doing the Permagard pretreatment, and I'm going to be working in this quarter panel section of the hood. And I'm going to spread the product out really good and then work it in, up and down, left to right motion. And I'm just going to start off with 2 outer circles of on my pad here. Okay, so I just worked in my 2 sections on my hood, and it's important to remember when you're working in your 2 25 by 25 sections is that you overlap as you're working in the product. So now that I've worked it in really good, I'm about to move on to my dry buff. So I got a clean pad on, and now I'm going to go ahead and do my dry buff and take off the product of both of these 2 sections here. All right, so now that I've done my dry buff, I'm just going to inspect the surface to make sure there's no residue left over. And it looks good. Okay, so we've done our dry buff of the Permagard pre-treatment. Now I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to do an application of the Permagard Reactive Polymer. So I'm going to shake up my product, go ahead and give it 2 outer circles here on my pad. Don't even need a lot. Okay. Now I'm just going to evenly apply this and then work it in an up and down, left to right motion. Okay, I've worked that in really good, so now I'm going to do my dry buff. Add a fresh pad here. All right, and also guys, something to note, Permagard Reactive Polymer can be applied onto your glossy hard plastics as well. Not your porous plastics, but your glossy plastics, which this has been treated as well. And as you can see, this was oxidized and it brought back the shine, and it works very well, easy to apply, and that's Permagard Reactive Polymer. So the Permagard Reactive Polymer also works really well on treating lights as well. So I'm going to do a demonstration of how to do that. So first I'm going to go ahead and shake my product up, and I have my bonnet. I'm going to fold this up, give just a couple dabs, and I'm going to do application just on the outside here and then work it in with my machine. So I'm going to do my hand details first. I'm just kind of work it in a little bit with my machine. All right, that looks really good. So now I'm going to do my dry buff. All right, so now I've done my dry buff. I'm going to go over it with my microfiber cloth to remove any excessive residue. Wow, look at that. Amazing. All right, so I've treated the headlights and also the tail lights with the Permagard Reactive Polymer. Now moving on to the rims, which these are painted rims. So I'm gonna be coating these as well. And I'm gonna be doing the hand details. So I'm just gonna shake up again, dab a little bit onto my bonnet here, and just kind of wipe it in, work it in. Okay, so now that I've worked that in onto my rims, I'm gonna move on to my dry buff. Wow, look at that. The rims look amazing. So now that I'm finished with my dry buff with my microfiber cloth, that's how you treat your rims with Permagard Reactive Polymer. Also very easy to do. Just work it in and then wipe it off, and that's that. Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing an interior application as well, and before I get started, I want to make sure to clean the seat thoroughly, and to do that I have my sponge here that I just kind of dip in some water. I have our ready to use multi-purpose, okay, my sponge here, so I'm going to spray a little bit on the sponge, just kind of wipe the seat down. So cleaning my seat, I've got my microfiber here. I'm just gonna dry some of these parts as I clean it. All right guys, so I just finished cleaning the seat here with the multi-purpose cleaner. And now I'm gonna be doing an application of our leather and fabric protector. And I'm gonna be using this sponge. So to do the application, I spray into the sponge. And to give it nice even strokes, I'm just gonna lightly just kind of wipe it in here. All right, and as this section is drying, I'm gonna spray a little bit more. Okay, now that I've got my product evenly spread over the seat, this is like my first section done. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to let it sit for a while, for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then after that I'm going to do my dry buff with my microfiber. All right, so now that it's been 10 minutes and I've given about 10 minutes to let my Permagard leather and fabric protector cure. Now I'm going to take my microfiber cloth and just kind of remove any residue to make sure that it gets an even finish. Okay, so I've already cleaned the surface with the Permagard multi-purpose cleaner. So now I'm going to be going over this plastic piece and kind of giving it an application of our Permagard plastic and vinyl protector. Okay, I'm going to do a demonstration of how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this into my sponge. So a little here, and just kind of give it even strokes. The sponge is very good to help you, hit the corners and the edges. Alright, I'm going to this sit a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my microfiber because I'm gonna come back over it after it dries a little bit to give it a dry buff to remove any excess residue. Okay, so now that I've allowed my plastic and vinyl, my Permagard plastic and vinyl protector to cure, I'm gonna go ahead and go over it with my microfiber cloth, and this is to remove any excess residue that may be left over to give it a nice even finish. As you can see there. All right, that looks amazing. And that was an application of our Permagard plastic and vinyl protector. That easy. Awesome.
What a fantastic job, Joseph Stewart. This vehicle, which is a 2021 BMW 430i, was just treated by Joe Stewart.
Thank you.
In one day, he has accomplished the interior and complete exterior treatment on this 3-year-old used vehicle. Take a look at it. It looks better than new. That is what Permagard is famous for. So the benefits would be, if I were to explain to you about the benefits, the first thing is that Joe was able to carry out this job by himself in one day. That's the most important point. The second most important point is the environment. This is just a normal environment. It doesn't have to be applied in any special dust-free paint facility. The third point is that you don't need to etch the surface before applying Permagard. So you don't need to do any paint correction before applying Permagard. And that is what is famous for Permagard. If you use a paint correction prior to installing a protective coating, you're actually etching the paint, or in other words, harming the paint before protecting it. With Permagard, you're actually building up directly on the existing paint. So you're protecting as much paint as possible. And that is what Permagard is famous for. Thank you very much.